What's up, guys? Today on this video, we're going to be talking about the Viper V1, the Super G Plus, the BSRT, pretty much anything that has an Endbell. We're going to talk about a common problem that hopefully we'll be able to solve for you guys. Let's do it. Hey, what's up, guys? We are going to talk about some tips and tricks on the G or Viper style, mostly the pickup shoe hangers and the Endbell is what we're going to be talking about today. And as you can see, I have a Viper V1 next to the old school Tomy Super G Plus, which is what the V1 is based on. So I had a couple guys on Facebook asking questions, not necessarily directly to me, but just kind of chatter in the groups about putting their V1 or G Plus together and having it sputter around on the track. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And really the part that you want to focus on is the pickup shoe hangers. And I always will put pressure on them. You can see how that one moves a little bit. This one here is very, very, very loose, okay? So you can see how that is super loose. That is exactly where that problem starts at, okay? So when this shoe is moving around, you can see what it's doing up there. It's moving that hanger. The hanger should not move at all. There should be no movement in the hanger. It should just be the shoe moving around, okay? So as you can see, the Viper is the correct way. And we have engineered that into the car. So our bunny ears, that's what you call them on the Endbell, as you can see right there, they are an arch, and that prevents them from being collapsed. Now they still can get crushed, and I mean, if you're just jamming these cars together, then that's what you're gonna have problems with them. As on this one, these just have an ear that kind of sticks up, and it's really, really hard to fix that. But one way that you can fix it is with a little pick like this. You can stick it down in there. You don't want to stab yourself, but you can stick that down in there, and that will definitely firm it up. If you really go all the way through, it'll make that back to being super, super firm. Obviously, you know, if you change out the Endbell, you put a Viper Endbell in there, you wouldn't have to worry about that, but this Endbell is just fine. It just needs to have those ears fixed, and that will eliminate that problem. So that's one of the biggest things that we see when guys are putting these things together. And just for the video's purpose, we will pop this guy apart really quick. I've done this tons of times. Actually, this is a stiff chassis, so it is not going to come apart as easy as I thought. Just one sec. Let me pull out a V-spec. Okay, there we go. So we'll put that guy away because he is a stiff chassis, and I just don't have enough fingernail to blow that thing apart right now without blowing the fingernail apart. So the V-spec, pop it apart. Motor package is out, okay? And you can see, let me get my pointer back. You can see our little bunny ears here. So there is a little bit of a gap underneath them, and there is times where I will push this bottom corner down on both sides to help it get into the car. But the way that I do this is I hold everything like so, and I kind of roll it down in there like if it was rolling through a bowl, okay? So the first step is I get it to this point, okay, where you can see the bunny ears are now sitting on top of the hanger, and my bushing is in the correct place. So now I like to use the hole, and I'll pull that forward, and you can see how that is now sitting on top of that bunny ear. And this side, the same thing. Once they're both like that, I'm holding a lot of pressure with my thumb right now. I will pop it in place, seat the bushing, flip it over, make sure everything looks correct, and then I usually will grab the armature, go back and forth, and the last step before I put the traction magnets in and the magnet clip on is I make sure there's no movement on those guys and that is firm. This car did not have tractions in it before, so we're not going to put those back in, but we're going to put the clip back on. This is another thing that I do differently. A lot of guys spread these clips from both sides. That is a no-no. You only need to get one side started like so. Okay. Push it over, it pops in, and then I'm going to put center pressure and push out, and it pops down, and your clip's seated. I usually will move it back and forth, make sure that it is locked in, but you do that, you don't break clips. You also aren't stretching the clip. You don't want to stretch these things. You want them to stay as neutral as possible, and they will last a really long time that way. So that's pretty much it. That applies to the Viper, the G3, also the Super G Plus, and the Tomy SRT and the Turbo. So all of them are going to have the same hanger setup, and that is going to be the same case on all of them. Let me grab a SRT here. We can look at it just so that you guys can see that. So same thing on these ones. They don't have bunny ears. They just have basically a tab from the brush arm that comes out, and you really want to kind of fold that around and make it look exactly the same. You don't want to wrap it down the sides though, because if it goes in contact with the armature can, you'll have a short and you'll be upset. You'll probably be calling me for another motor, so don't do that. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully that made sense. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, you know the drill. Throw it in the comments below, and we'll do our best to get back to you. Take it easy.